Hello and welcome to the After Pop, a brief breakdown of nuclear reactor types from episode 15 with Steve Rea. Today we're going into a topic that powers much of our world, nuclear reactors. And hopefully by the end of this episode you'll have a solid understanding of how nuclear reactors work, the different types of reactors out there, and the exciting new designs shaping the future of nuclear energy. Let's get started. What exactly is a nuclear reactor? Okay, so it's a machine that creates energy by splitting atoms. This process is called nuclear fission. It happens when tiny particles called neutrons hit the nucleus of an atom, breaking it apart. When this happens, a lot of energy is released, enough to create heat, which is then used to make electricity. How does that work? Inside a reactor, we have fuel, like uranium, that gets split. The heat from fission boils water to make steam. The steam spins a turbine, and that turbine powers a generator to produce electricity. Make sense now? That's the basic idea, but not all reactors are the same. Let's look at the different types of nuclear reactors, starting with the most common ones. Boiling Water Reactors. Boiling Water Reactors, or BWR, are like giant tea kettles. Inside the reactor, water flows over the fuel rods, where it gets heated directly by the fission process. This water turns into steam right there in the reactor. The steam goes straight to the turbine, spins it, and creates electricity. BWRs are efficient and relatively simple, but because the water is radioactive, they need extra safety measures to keep everything contained. BWRs can continuously produce between 1,000 and 1,200 megawatts of electricity. That's enough to power almost 750,000 homes. Pressurized water reactors. Next, we have pressurized water reactors, or PWRs. These are a bit different. Instead of letting water boil in the reactor, it's kept under high pressure so it stays liquid. The hot water is then sent to a separate system where it heats up another batch of water to make steam. This two-step process helps keep the radioactive water inside the reactor, which is an extra layer of safety. PWRs are the most common types of reactors in the world, and they can generate between 900 and 1,400 megawatts. That's like powering a city of over 1 million people. Next, small modular reactors. Another cutting-edge technology is small modular reactors, or SMRs. Think of them as nuclear reactors built like Legos. Small, standardized, and easy to assemble. Because they're modular, they can be built faster and at a lower cost than traditional reactors. SMRs are great for smaller communities or industries that need a reliable power source but don't require a huge reactor. Plus, their safety features are designed to shut down automatically if anything goes wrong. SMRs typically generate between 50 and 300 megawatts. That's enough to power tens of thousands of homes, a medium-sized industrial area, or, like Steve mentioned, potentially powering an electric arc furnace for steel production. Now, let's talk about something a little smaller. Microreactors. These compact reactors are used on Navy ships and submarines. Because they're tiny but powerful, they can run for years without needing to refuel. Microreactors are also being explored for use in remote areas or places that need reliable electricity, like research stations in the Arctic. They're the tiny but mighty champions of the nuclear world. Microreactors usually produce 1 to 20 megawatts. Some reactors on naval vessels can produce up to 165 megawatts of electricity. This is ideal for small communities or remote locations, powering things like research stations or military bases. Advanced reactors. Advanced reactors are where things get really cool. One type is the Molten Salt Reactor. Instead of using water, these reactors use a special liquid salt to transfer heat. The salt doesn't boil away, even at super high temperatures, which makes these reactors safer and more efficient. Molten salt reactors can also use different types of fuels, including thorium. Thorium is more abundant than uranium, which could make nuclear power even more sustainable in the future. We talked a little bit briefly about thorium reactors in our episode with Eric Meyer from Generation Atomic. Molten salt reactors can produce anywhere from 10 to 300 megawatts, depending on their design. That could power a small town or an industrial facility. You might be wondering, why do reactors use uranium as fuel? Uranium is special because its atoms are easy to split, and splitting them releases a ton of energy. Remember that old equation E equals mc squared? Other fuels like thorium are being explored, but for now, uranium is the go-to. As our technology evolves, so do the reactors that we use. Advanced designs aim to be safer, cleaner, and more versatile, whether it's powering remote villages in the Arctic, reducing carbon emissions, or shipping commercial freights across the ocean with nuclear reactors. Nuclear energy has a bright future. Don't worry if you felt like this was a short episode. It's just the afterpop. The rest of this year, we're actually going to be diving deeper into different reactor types, snagging subject matter experts in all of these fields to talk a little bit more in depth about what these reactors are, how we build them, how we use them, and how they can integrate a little bit more into our society. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about nuclear reactors, PWRs, BWRs, SMRs, and all of the rest of the nuclear reactor alphabet soup. If you have any questions or want to learn more about a specific topic, email me, Danielle, at nakednuclear.com, and don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with your friends. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay curious.